With the playoffs looming, we head to one of the most unique tracks on the schedule, and this is the only road course on the schedule. This is the Sim Racing Authority Sim Graphix Truck Series. As like I said, we are here in Canada with the playoffs looming. Jake Nichols looking to point his way into the chase along with a few others. Ty Sifford, who's currently second in points. Also with Nate Trato, David Schutt, and a host of other drivers hoping to point their way in. So who's going to get the win here tonight on the road course? It's the only time we will visit. Turn left and turn right. My name's Sam Cooper Bennett, up in the booth with you here tonight, as always, for this series. I apologise, I'm been in a bit of a rush, but qualifying about to get underway here at the screen right there. And a big hello to Chemo in the chat, and I'm sure we'll be seeing Becky Sifford and the rest of our usual crew here on a Sunday night. Hopefully we can get a lot of people involved for this one as well. Tyler Sifford, obviously a popular person in this league, but a lot of other popular drivers in here as well. So without further ado, with qualifying underway, let's get down to the track, shall we? And see who we've got there right now. So let's go and see who is out on track, as we've got a short field again for this one tonight. As we're looking at a driver we're not seeing so far this season, Lachlan McMillan, that's it, with the Virtual Racing School colours on, well, sponsorship on that. Number 16 Silverado, as he gets it all wrong. Not sure he wanted to do that this early in the race. This early in the session. Let's go to one of the possible contenders for tonight's race, and that's Mr. David Schutt in the 42 Ferrari coloured Silverado. Some minor adjustments here. Apologise. There we go. The truck makes his way around the track. Let's put up the qualifying times here and see where this is going to put him. We've not had any times in yet, so Schutt gets it all wrong on the grass there. He's going to have to abandon his lap, as that off track will not count his lap here. So unfortunate there for the man in the 42. Let's hope he gets a better run this time round. Let's take a look and see who else is out on track right now. We've got Bryce Senesac on track here with another new paint scheme. Great looking paint scheme there for the 09. As we're still waiting for times to come in this bit longer qualifying this time around. Obviously, because it's a road course, we are going to have a bit longer for drivers to make their way around the track, and rightly so. That makes his way through the kink and the tight right-hander. And down this long back section. Always fun to see drivers setting up passing opportunities going down here as they go around this long sweeping right-hander. Then they break at the crest of the hill as they set themselves up for this. Another right-hander a bit tighter there. Sweeping right, sweeping left. And slow down, get yourself set up for the final corner. Ride the curb if necessary, just like Sanders did. And that is the end of that lap. as Tyler Deschamps actually going to be the man to set the benchmark here tonight. Bryce Senesac will set a 1:19.2. We've got 43 laps to go here as we're going to go to one of the men that is trying to chase down Jake Nichols for that top spot in the point standings. That is Tyler Sifford as he goes top of the standings here at Canadian Tire. It's a great time for him. Freddie De La Rosa, he has been fast all evening at this track. Thank you, Chemo. Really appreciate it. Those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you give a like and a share if you would like to. And if you want to see more, then maybe just hit that good old subscribe button. Maybe let your friends know that ESPN are here, and we are here to stay. So we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So up the hill goes De La Rosa. As we got our fourth time in, that will be Nate Trato with a 1:18.085. I believe that will be his qualifying done, but we're going to keep focusing on Freddie De La Rosa. Been very fast here this evening, as I've already mentioned, through the right and the left-handers. And as we come into the end of this lap, through the final corner, going to use all of the curb there. Use as much of the track as you can without getting an off-track here, as he comes down to the line. And Tyler and Freddie De La Rosa straight to the top of the board with a 1:17.698. And I don't believe he's done here. I think he's going to try a second lap here. Lachlan McMillan finally gets a lap in. He will be in P6 here. Let's see if he can improve on that time. We've got only 6 drivers taking time here as we've got 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. I don't think anybody's going to make it out in time to get a lap in. Well, usually on road courses, iRacing does give people a bit of extra time to get their laps done, so it would actually help them as, here we go, De La Rosa coming to the final 2 corners now, or the final corner, sorry. Using a bit less of the curve this time round, making his way down to the line. Does he improve? And the answer is no. That lap of 1:17.741 that time around. I warned you last week, Becky, it was going to be a road course. As we look at Tyler Deschamps now, currently sitting on pit road. He's running a different paint scheme this week. He was running the good old Exalta paint scheme, similar to one that Bobby Cheney was running. So that was a bit confusing. Good that he's running a different one this time around. Let's take a quick closer look at said paint scheme. See if I can. No, that's not going to work at all, is it? Chase? No. Ditech.com. 800 Ditech 1. Okay. Or Ditech. Not sure how you pronounce that. But anyway, qualifying about to come to an end here. We're just about 45 seconds left in the session. And it is going to be Freddie De La Rosa starting on pole here with Tyler Sifford in second. Third. Tyler Deschamps in fourth. Bryce Senesac in fifth. Lachlan McMillan, the last driver taking time, he is in P6 with a 1:20.068. And going to be... David Shutt not taking the time. His lap was cancelled after he got an off track during his run. Jake Nichols, Bobby Cheney, Dwayne Culberson, Brad Bothwell, Ethan Kurtz all not opting to go out. Nick Northrup did go out for a short while, but obviously his lap got cancelled as well. He will not take any further part in the session. As we click over, we are done with qualifying now. And we are going to get ready for 43 laps of racing here. We will have a caution lap of... we have a caution break on lap 12. So with that being said, let's go to the grid for tonight's races. Starting up on the pole will be Freddie De La Rosa. He'll be joined on that front row by Tyler Sifford. Row 2 will be Nate Trato and Tyler Ducharme. Row 3 will be Bryce Senesac and Lachlan McMillan. Row 4 will be David Shutt and Jayton Nichols, the points leader. Row 5 will be Bobby Cheney and Nick Northrup. Row 6 will be Ethan Kurtz and Dwayne Culberson, with Brad Bothwell in P13 starting shotgun on the field. Ready to... Yeah. Spotter, the overlay, the ticker, as we see De La Rosa on the left, Sifford on the right. So De La Rosa is first pole position of the season. Let's not forget. And for it to come on a road course, that's pretty special for him, I'm sure. They make their way round the full course. On this one, they will make their way around the full circulation of Canadian Tire, or Mosport, as it's well been famously known as. They come through the back section of the course. You see Bothwell at the back there. Everybody just weaving around a bit, making sure their tyres are warmed up, ready to go. Obviously, this not with the new tyre model. That will be coming later in the year, so make sure you check, wait for that one. These guys are really going to have to step up the game with the new tyre model as they make their way round the kink and into this tight right-hander. Hopefully, they all get round under pacing. I can't see why not. We should have 56 minutes of racing here at Mosport, Canadian Tire, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And again, as I do every week, as one of my favourite cartoon characters on this hood, that will be Foamy the Squirrel as his little mascot, so very good there. I do love myself a bit of Foamy. Foamy be with you all. With that being said, let's get ready to go here as we make our way towards the final corner now. And Freddie De La Rosa and Tyler Sifford starting side by side as they come out of the final turn. Spin there by Nate Trato, and up into third will go Tyler Ducharme. And Ducharme actually moving his way up to second as well. So a very, very contentious start, a very bad start by Nate Trato. Got it going, he's still at P4 as around goes McMillan. As it's all kicking off early on. Let's take a look and see what happened to McMillan here. He ran wide at the start. And Shutt trying to put a move on him. Just clipped the back end and around he went. Thankfully he managed to save it without really hitting anything. Here's back up and running once again. One driver that started in pit road will be that man Ethan Kurtz, wherever he may be, and there he is. Oh dear, not a good start from the man in the number 2, but Freddie De La Rosa gets it all wrong, And he's going to lose the lead to Tyler Deschamps into the final corner, and Tyler Sifford will be the next one to be all over the back of the number 3. Great start to this race. We've got a 3-truck breakaway with David Shutt in 4th. Jayton Nichols, David Shutt's in P5 actually. Nate Trato is in P5. Jayton Nichols in P6 in the Sim Speed Shop. And TRD number 20 is off goes David Shutt now. So everybody finding it tough in the early running of this race. And it's going to be a question of who can hold on to it for the longest. Tyler Deschamps has the lead for now. A lot of pace in that truck, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can try and get that lead back as they make their way up the hill for the second time here tonight. Tyler Sifford himself is in a bit of trouble here as he's going to find himself under pressure from Nate Trato. Through this long right-hander into the left-hander. And into the final turn. Oh, Nate Trato's going around! And he saves it. Great save there by the 99. Going to cost him a lot of time. That's going to be Jayton Nichols going to be up to the back of him very soon. But we've got one in pit road as well. That's going to be David Shutt with an early pit stop here. We're going to see if anything's happened to him. And the answer will be no. I believe this might be a scheduled pit stop. Ethan Kurtz has been in pit road for a while. Back in the front now, Tyler Deschamps is your leader as they make their way down the hill to the kink and the tight right-hander. And can Deschamps hold on? He's defending that inside line very successfully. Ty Sifford right there as well. Nate Trato holding on to P4 right now. Jake Nichols in the top 5. Bobby Cheney running by himself right now in that P6 spot. He is just running his own race. He's having a good race so far. Northrop currently in a battle with Dwayne Culbertson for P7. I'll watch this one with interest as there is Northrop. There is Culbertson right behind him. Lachlan McMillan has regained his momentum slightly. He's there in P9. And David Shutt, despite his pit stop, is rejoined in P10. Bryce Senesack down in the 09, he's in P11. Brad Bothwell in P12. It looks like Ethan Kurt's night might be over already. As we go back to the lead. It's going to let Freddie De La Rosa get a bit of a run on him. Of the track. Down the little dip there into this right-hander. Double right-hander. Up the hill. As here we go, we've got a battle here for third place. Tyler Sifford and Jake Nichols. Over the crest, and Jake Nichols moving up to third place now. Good fighting here with this top 5. Into the final turn again to complete lap number 4. Tyler Sifford struggling there for the final corner. That's going to give Trato a run now into turn 1. And it's not going to be so because Sifford getting a much better run through turn 1. Through the downhill left-hander they go. It's very up and down track at this one. There's lots of elevation changes as Trato going to dive it in there. And this long right-hander not going to make it work as he runs wide. They're already 8 seconds ahead of Bobby Cheney, who is 5 seconds himself. Oh, he's literally running by himself right now, the man in the 24. And league owner, I might add. Having a decent enough race here. Dick Northrop in P7. And he's got away from Dwayne Culberson, who's, I'm guessing must have had a bit of an incident because he's fallen back to P11. Brad Bothwell in P12, he's fallen well off the pace as well. Closing on David Shutt. Actually, Shutt has actually got around McMillan. I apologise. As Brad Bothwell's put it on the hauler for some unknown reason. Oh no, there he is. Oh, there it is. That's my ATV over it playing up. As Tyler Siffin's now fallen to 4th place to catch him. Eve. No, we're not. There's still the top 5 altogether. As, oh! Deschamps going to go off and into the barrier! Big. The heartbreak there for the 25. Let's take a look. He ran wide in this double right-hander. This the tyre barrier. Comes back out on track, but all that momentum he had in the lead there is gone completely. And it looks like he might have a bit of a damaged truck there as they make their way up the hill. Freddie De La Rosa now has the lead back with Jake Nichols in second. Tyler Sifford back up, promoted up to third now. Nate Trato in 4th. Trato trying everything he can to get around the 98. Out of the final turn to complete lap 6. There you go. And what can this man do to try and catch up again? He's got a lot of work to do as Brad Bothwell is in pit road. I think this is a scheduled pit stop for him. Let's go back and see if we can find out why he made his way into pit road. It's just a scheduled pit stop for the man in the 30. So no harm, no foul to him, but he's been in pit road for a while. Meanwhile, back in the front, De La Rosa still your leader. Tyler Sifford still under pressure, and actually that pressure paid off for Nate Trato. He moves on. Having fallen back to 4th after starting 2nd on the grid. That is Jake Nichols challenging on the outside. He dived it through that double right-hander. Now it's going to be a drag race towards the next difficult corner here, and Jake Nichols going to take it away from De La Rosa. Can De La Rosa do anything about this? He pressured Tyler Deschamps into a mistake earlier, but it might be a bit more of a difficult way through the last couple of corners here. Through the final turn. But Jake Nichols, your new leader here. And what can he do to get that lead back, Freddie De La Rosa? Because we know he's fast around here. We know he can probably finally get that chip off his shoulder this week, but it's not going to be easy. We saw a mistake there from Nate Trato. That's going to let Tyler Sifford get a run as well. As Tyler really not enjoying that truck right now. See if he had a bit of a problem there. He's just not having fun in that 25 anymore. David Shutt now onto P6 now after dispatching of Nick Northrup. Bobby Cheney's fallen back a bit as well. I might be missing quite a few incidents here, but I have not got a second person in the booth, so I don't know. I can't see what's going on. Bryce Sanasak right there as well. Wayne Culberson back there as well. Brad Bothwell looks like he might have called it a night here. But Jake Nichols is your man at the point right now. He still has Freddie De La Rosa right behind him. Nate Trato and Tyler Sifford in a bit of a battle as well. They were in a bit of a battle, but it looks like Sifford who's going to go round. Sifford in a bit of trouble, losing the back end down the hill. Almost big drama there for the 98, but keeps it going. But it looks like the tyres are starting to wear off for him as well. I believe they're trying to make it to the caution flag here. Jake Nichols still your leader here, but look at De La Rosa still hanging on to the back of that number 20. Over the crest and down towards this right-hander and then left-hander. Into the final corner. De La Rosa a bit closer that time. Is it enough to get a run though towards turn one? It's not. Yeah, it's going to take a look though. Going to take a bit of a deeper line going for the corner that might affect his exit. It does not. Manages to control it very professionally. Don't worry, Chemo, I've got a new microphone on order. Your blushes will soon be spared. Yeah, but what? It wouldn't be a good broadcast if I didn't get excited. I'm still raging on between Jake Nichols and Freddie De La Rosa. And they made their way down the backstretch again. Down towards probably my two favourite corners on the track. This sweeping right-hander and then this really sudden left-hander. You've got a break going into the final turn. Round the corner they go. The back end stepping out there for Jake Nichols, but he's able to control it very professionally. Tyler Sifford now falling off the pace here as he makes his way through the final turn. We've had no more pit stops. Brad Bothwell is out of this race now, as well as Ethan Kurtz, so we now only have 11 left running. We're on lap 11 of 43 here. Oh, Sifford really struggling with that truck as he makes his way downhill. Tyler Deschamps back there in P5. Remember, he led this the early running of this race. He is now back in that position because of a mistake he made, I believe, at this corner. So we'll be looking not to make any more mistakes here. He does have David Schutt starting to close him down as well. Ah! I know, Chemo, I know. So David Schutt closing down on Tyler Deschamps. Nick Northrup back there in P7. He's just ahead of Bryce Selesak, who's now on to P8. As we've got problems for Wayne Culberson. Let's go back and see what happened to him here. It looks like the back end just stepped away. Yes, it did. He went around that Amazon.com number 81 in a bit of a pickle here as he gets it going once again. Bit of a blink out there for him, but he's back up and running once again in this race. Back at the front though. Who is going to get this stage point? This stage win actually. It's going to be between Jake Nichols and Freddie De La Rosa. De La Rosa is going to try everything he can to try and close the gap to the 20 here as they made their way through this double right-hander. Nate Trato not too far behind, so if these two come to blows, he'll be there to pick up the pieces. They've really put a decent gap on Tyler Sifford, who's fallen back into P4. Through this right and left-hander again. So this is going to be your caution. This is your stage caution coming out right now as they made their way through the final corner and down across the line. And the caution should come out once all cars drop across the line. All trucks will cross the line. It will be Dwayne Culberson, the last truck across. He's under a bit of pressure from Lachlan McMillan. I finally got his name right. Sorry, Lachlan. There goes Nick Northrup across the line. There goes Bryce Senesack. And there goes Bobby Cheney. With Lachlan McMillan right behind him. There goes the caution. So, and there we have it. When they rejoin the pace car, we will have a rundown of your top 10 before we go to our commercial break here tonight. Very exciting racing, I think, is the what we can say for this early part of the race. There is the pace car. So with that being said, as Jake Nichols pulls up behind the pace car, we're going to head away for our first and probably only commercial break of the evening. So make sure you pay attention to the race, and while we're going side by side for the first time here tonight. So let's go to commercial. We'll be right back.
It's Top Fuel Racing, live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Here, rejoin us as we are about to go back to green here at Marsport, the Canadian Tire, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be Freddie De La Rosa's bringing us back to green as your leader. David Schutt will be second. Jake Nichols third after a pretty bad pit stop for himself, with Nick Northrup in fourth, Ty Stifford in fifth. Big heartbreak there for Nate Trato. He is back there in P11. Back there with Tyler Ducharme, who also had a bad pit stop. As they make their way through the final corner, the pace car is off again, and De La Rosa not wasting any time as we go back to green here at Canadian Tire. And can De La Rosa get the lead in? No, he can't, as De La Rosa goes off in the first corner. Bobby Cheney around in a big way, and that is Tyler Ducharme, and a big wreck in the background. Bobby Cheney, Nate Trato, I believe, might be in trouble in the ears. Big hit there from with Bobby Cheney back there. And big collecting Tyler Ducharme, Nate Trato in it as well. And their nights might be over here. Bobby Cheney definitely on the hauler as he had the biggest hit out of everybody, staying in his truck right there. As it looks like he might have lost the back end, and he did. Big hit and collected Tyler Ducharme. Ducharme actually probably had the bigger hit out of the two. He really did get whacked there. And Nate Trato coming off with a smoking gun right now, as he's going to try and desperately make it back with that smoking engine. We're moving on back to the race, and David Schutt finds himself in the lead now with Jake Nichols in second, and Nick Northrup in third, Tyler Stifford in fourth, chasing down the 54. Ryan Senesac in the top five now as well, so he's capitalised on that with Lachlan McMillan up to P6, Dwayne Culbertson in P7, Freddie De La Rosa just been in pit road, I believe, with Nate Trato in pit road receiving repairs. Well, he will be receiving repairs any second now. Tyler Ducharme and Bobby Cheney, I believe they're all out of this thing. As coming down the start-finish straight, that is Ethan Kurtzbury joining the race there. He is 10 laps down, but David Schutt there, your leader, and he's going to have Jake Nichols chasing him down. Into the final corner to come there on lap 18 of 43 here. Can David Schutt hold off Jake Nichols? It's going to be a tough ask because Nichols led them to the caution flag here. Nick Northrup up to third place, obviously, after capitalising on Freddie De La Rosa going off. Back there in P5. He will have Lachlan McMillan right behind him. McMillan running wide there, but staying on the track with Dwayne Culbertson right there as well. He'll make his way down the hill. And Freddie De La Rosa will try and close these guys in. He may have made a mistake on that restart there as he almost loses the back end coming down the hill, but he's very fast around here. And it won't be long before he's probably going to be back in the top five eventually. David Schutt, your leader, Jake Nichols in second. And Nichols trying to close in on the 42. Nick Northrup now under pressure from Tyler Stifford, who's trying to get back up to third place. Stifford had a good start to the race, but his tyres fell away very quickly while he was battling with Nate Trato in the early running. But looks as though he's got back underneath him. He did have a bit of a wiggle there going through turn one. Manages to control it, and he's Northrup under a lot of pressure now. Can Sifford find a way by? This is the closest battle on the track right now, by the way. Up for this double right-hander. Northrop having a bit of a wheel spin there as he makes his way through there. We've got that between Bryce Senesack and Lachlan McMillan. Let's go to that battle right now as they're side by side going down the backstretch now as they make their way up the hill. And who's going to get the win in this battle? It looks like it's going to be McMillan. And it will be Lachlan McMillan moving his way up to the top 5 now. Looks like he might have found some speed in that number 16 VRS truck. Can he get away from Senesack though? That's the question. Silas Sifford still trying to find a way by Nick Northrop here. We will have to see another pit stop before this race is over, so maybe the best thing to do would maybe play the strategy through the pit stops. I'm going to try and get an interview with one of the drivers here that's sitting on pit road because I know they're not going to be happy with exactly what happened here. So we're going to try and get a word in with
Hello?
Hello, good to have you got a copy? So,
Yeah,
Sam in the booth, you got a copy. Big heartbreak on that restart there. Just talk us through what happened there.
I mean, we went green and I was making that corner and like I just got like a body roll on the truck and it just went dead right. Like I couldn't even save it. And I died. I killed a couple other guys too, so I apologize to them. I didn't mean to do that, but I just lost control and just killed everybody.
Yeah, it looked like you were having a pretty decent enough run. You had a good run early on, and it looked like you started to fall away near the end of the just before the caution flag came out. Is this truck tough on a long run, or?
I mean, the truck it gets a little more unstable in the long run, but I mean, just at the start, these trucks now are just really unstable. So, I mean, you can't really just mat the gas down. You gotta work the throttle through the corners and exit because it's out of control from the start. But it does get a little worse the longer you run. So you might see some more guys run off track just because it's a handful for sure.
Absolutely, it always is around here in these machines. Just another question before I let you go. Are you done for the night, or is are you going to get back out there before this is over?
I got like a half hour worth of damage, so probably not. We're dead.
Okay, Bobby. Well, before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go back?
Just thanks to everybody that tuned in. The guys that showed up tonight, and we got a few more races left, and we'll have our champion. So thank all them guys that show up.
All right. Well, Bobby Cheney and the number 24 Chevy. Tough luck tonight, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
That was the league owner Bobby Cheney in a big hit on that last restart. Looking back at the battle here between Tyler Sifford and Nick Northrop, Sifford made a big mistake there while we were talking to Cheney. Let's go back to the battle between Bryce Senesack and Freddie De La Rosa now. De La Rosa's actually caught to the back of the 09. As look at that, it's going to go around him very easily. As we've had a problem. Big problem with Lachlan McMillan. Let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened to him. He's already 2 laps down, so it's going to have to go back quite a fair bit. Like he might have had a bit of a big hit here. Oh, we blew the engine. See if we can find out what happened here, and there it is. So he was in a battle with Bryce Senesack, went a bit too wild into the corner. The back end might have stepped around. It looked very similar to what happened to Bobby Cheney, and Lachlan McMillan, unfortunately, his first race in the series comes to a shuddering halt. But for David Schutt, things are going from strength to strength with him. He's already 1.4 seconds to the good over Jake Nichols, as he looks to get his, I believe, his second win of the season here. So, and we know David Schutt from the Red Sox League. He knows how to turn a pretty wheel, and he won on Thursday. So, second win of the season with one of the leagues we broadcast. So, looking good. Go back to Freddie De La Rosa, who's already dispatched of Bryce Senesac, already 6 seconds ahead of him actually. So De La Rosa, I did say it wouldn't be long before he was in the top 5 again, and he is. Meanwhile, back to the battle between Sifford and Northrop. Sifford is right there, and it's going to be a question of, will Tyler Sifford have to move him, or is he willing to wait until the pit stops to get the move done on him? He's going to try and get a run going into turn 1. Can't be too aggressive going into here because we've seen that happen twice now. Bobby Cheney. Tyler Ducharme, as Nick Northrop has a bit of an incident there going through the corner. And Sifford doing everything he can to try and get around him. Because Nick Northrop, big slide there, that's going to let... And it will be Nick Northrop going to drive it in aggressively and keep ahead of Tyler Sifford. What a battle we've seen between these two. As Freddie De La Rosa is trying to close in. Sifford going to lose the back end as well now. As here comes Freddie De La Rosa, almost getting into the back of the 98. And in a different kind of battle now. He's gone from the hunter to the hunted. As here comes De La Rosa now behind the 98. As wow, some great fights here on the track right now. Now the question now, can Sifford hold off De La Rosa? These two have pretty much been on a kind of a similar pace here in practice and qualifying, so Sifford is not going to make it easy for him as they come down the hill, sweeping left-hander. Oh, runs wide there, back end stepping out. That's going to let De La Rosa get alongside him. And De La Rosa makes it look just that easy. And the number 3 moves his way up to 4th place now. Tyler Sifford having to fall back to P5. Now the question is, will De La Rosa get around Northrop? The way he made it look so easy on Tyler Sifford. It might be a definitely maybe. I don't know. With less than 20 laps to go here, and it's looking like it might be in David Schutt's favour. He's about 1.7 seconds to the good over Jake Nichols there, who's in P2. As Freddie De La Rosa fell back again. What happened to him there? And it looks like it might have been... Oh no, he went straight on. So that will have hurt him. That's let Tyler Sifford and Nick Northrop back around him, because he was trying to fight Nick Northrop. And there is Bryce Senesac. And we've only got 7 drivers left running as Lachlan McMillan, who's put it on the hole, and Nate Trato is out. Bobby Cheney is out. Tyler Ducharme is out. Ethan Curtis still going around the track, but he is not in good shape whatsoever. Brad Bothwell is out as well. One thing I do know about Ethan Curtis, he's not a road course racer, but he is always willing to give it a go. So, kudos going out to him for that one. Let's go back to this battle for P3 though, as Tyler Sifford now starting to reel in the 54 once again of Nick Northrup. These two have had one hell of a battle here tonight for their last spot in the top 3. And Tyler Sifford's form has been pretty good lately. He's had a good string of top 5s. It looks like he might be trying to continue that trend here tonight as they come out of the final corner to complete lap 27. Lovely free trip battle as De La Rosa runs wide again. That's exactly what he did on the restart. I don't want to see that happen again. Well, obviously it did. Question is though, can Sifford finally get around it? Northrup, he goes in very hot there and almost gets it to the side of Northrup, but he's going to get a run up there. Northrup going to cover him off there as they go down the hill into the Continental Bridge, as almost contact between those two. That's going to let De La Rosa back in again on this battle. Slow up the hill for Sifford. That's going to get De La Rosa back around him again. Jake Nichols, meanwhile, is close behind David Schutt. There he goes as Ethan Kurt's still cutting the grass there. This is not Farming Simulator, Ethan. The Freddie De La Rosa finds himself back up into P4. Can he get around Nick Northrup finally and make his way back up to the top 3? Northrup going to do everything he can and make that truck as wide as possible to stay ahead of the 3. And look at that, he's just doing everything he can to keep Northrup behind him. Sifford's still right there as well. Oh, as De La Rosa almost loses the back end, but then Tyler Sifford back in again. Into this double right-hander here, as Northrup losing, but still able to hold on. What a battle we're seeing here. As now De La Rosa going to take the wide line. They're going towards the corner as he's going to lose the back end, but still able to keep the car underneath him. The truck underneath him, I apologise. Through this right and left hander. Gets his way up to 3rd place. Finally dispatches of the 54. And now battle can resume between Sifford and Northrup as Ethan Kurt's still cutting the grass. Again, as I already mentioned, this is not Farming Simulator, Ethan. Down the hill they come. And now Northrup falling into the clutches of Sifford again. Sifford going to undercut him there as they go towards the left hand, well, down towards Continental Bridge. Down the hill into the dip and into this double right-hander. This is where Northrup always seems to struggle. Kept it underneath him this time. Good corner in there from the 54. Up the hill and up to the crest, down again into this right-hander, into the left-hander. You see De La Rosa starting to pull away now from the 54 and the 98. That is Nick Northrup and Tyler Sifford. We've been with this battle for the long. And I take that back as David Schutt now and Jake Nichols have closed in. Made a mistake there somewhere. Let's go and see if he has made a mistake. I don't know. All I know is that they're very close together right now. Can Jake Nichols get that lead back from the 42? We are going back 43 here. 12. As Nichols slightly running wide there. That's going to lose him a bit of time to David Shutt. As Tyler Sifford has got way ahead of Nick Northrup here. What's happened here between these two? And that's explaining exactly what happened. Nick Northrup trying to hold off, trying to get to the back of Freddie De La Rosa, just ran very... And hopefully he doesn't hit anything. He didn't hit anything, that's good. But that has lost everything that he had. Top 3 now. Nick Northrup having to back off. As Tyler Sifford now finds his way into the top 4. Freddie De La Rosa, 2 seconds on the road. He's got 26 seconds to make up on Jake Nichols. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. As we're coming around to start lap 33 here, as De La Rosa almost makes a mistake going into this tight right-hander. There we go, David Shutt making his way through the final corner. There is Jake Nichols as well. Freddie De La Rosa right there. Let's go back a bit further through the field. We've not got many drivers left on the track. As there's Dwayne Culberson making his way around. Sitting in P7, he's surviving pretty well. In the grass a few times, and he's mowing the grass again. World's most expensive lawnmower, ladies and gentlemen. There goes Tyler Sifford around him. And can Sifford do something to try and close the gap to Freddie De La Rosa? I mean, I'm thinking it might take a very costly mistake by De La Rosa to get that position back. Let's go back to the battle for the lead though, as David Shutt now losing more time to Jake Nichols here. They come up the crest now. And when they cross the line, which they will do any second now, we will have just 10 laps to go. Can Jake Nichols get that lead back from David Shutt, or can David Shutt hold on? Into the first corner, keeps it very smooth. And we're going to ride on board with David Shutt for about a lap here, as he tries to control that truck around this very... And we're looking from the rear gearbox, well, the rear tailgate of David Shutt right now, as this battle's still continuing between himself and Jake Nichols. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can hold on, because the laps are running out for Jake Nichols right now. As we are only got 6 drivers left on the track. So, yeah, it's been a race of attrition here tonight. We've got David Shutt in the lead, Jake Nichols in second, Freddie De La Rosa is in third, Tyler Sifford running very comfortably in fourth, Bryce Senesac in the top 5, Dwayne Culberson is in P6 and he is the last. Nick Northrup has put it on the hauler. Unfortunately, he's had a tough run here tonight. Let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened to him. I believe he just pulled it into the garage and just called it a night, and I think that's what he did tonight. So just yeah. Now, if you did that in real life, you'd be fired from your racing team. Just saying. But look at this battle for the lead now, as we've got 7 laps to go, and David Shutt doing everything he can to keep Jake Nichols behind him. What a battle this has turned into, actually. And these guys have been nose to tail for the last 10 laps or so. Shutt did manage to get away and extend his lead to about 2 seconds at one point. Up the hill they go. Not really closing the gap. The gap is 30 seconds now to the leader. So even though the 42 and the 20 are still battling it out, it's still extending the gap over Freddie De La Rosa. Fresher tyres than these two. On the go to begin lap 38 of 43 here. Who is going to get this one? David Shutt. The gap has come down between those two, but he's been able to control the truck a lot more smoother than Jake Nichols. Six laps to go here. Under the Continental Bridge, down the hill. And this, I believe, the toughest corner on the track, in my opinion. David Shutt controls it perfectly. A run here as they come down towards this right and left-hander. The answer is no. His next challenge will probably be into the final corner. Maybe turn 1 if he can get a good enough run. But through to the final turn. 5 laps to go here at Marsport. And who's going to take it? Again, David Shutt, a much smoother line through turn 1. Under the Continental Bridge once again, they're still nose to tail. And it's hard to stay away from this battle because this is literally the only battle with only 6 drivers left on the track. Up the hill they come then. And it will be 4 laps to go here to the end of this race. And again, David Schutt starting to extend that lead a little bit over Nichols. And I believe if Jake Nichols finishes second here, by the way, he will seal the regular season championship without a doubt. So second is all he needs, but the win will be the icing on the cake for him if he can get it from David Schutt with 4 laps to go. It's looking a possibility if he can try and get around him. But David Schutt expertly trying to keep him. Just getting a bit desperate now as David Schutt loses the back end. Has a bit of a wiggle. That might be the run that Jake Nichols needs as he comes under the Continental Bridge. Schutt able to hold on. Really at a premium right now. And this is probably one of the best battles you're going to see all season. They made their way up the hill once again. Over the crest, down this little dip into the right-hander. And it's not enough to let Jake Nichols close the gap into the left-hander. Down towards the final turn. We're going to have 3 laps to go at the line here between David Schutt and Jake Nichols. One of these two will get the win here at Canadian Tire. At the moment, David Schutt is in the catbird seat. Down the hill in this left-hander, this sweeping left-hander. Into this tight left-hander, this double apex right-hander. David Schutt losing the back end again. He lost it there on the last lap. That might let Jake Nichols in. He's not close enough this time round as they go under the Continental Bridge, down the hill again. And can Nichols get the bump and run? No, he won't. And that is another strategy for Nichols there. If he wants to get by, the bump and run is a possibility. I'm not sure if they frown on that sort of thing here. Now, it looks like we might have problems for Culberson. No, he's back up. He's up to speed. He's fine. David Schutt now starting to extend the gap over Jake Nichols now. This battle, it looks like Nichols might actually be starting to back off as David Schutt loses the back end again through the final corner. And that's like Jake Nichols back in. He had that lead up to almost a second there, but the back end stepping out through the final turn again let Jake Nichols close back in once again. Gliding through the corner to try and close in even more. A much tidier corner that time from David Schutt has extended the gap once again to 0.6 of a second. A much deeper line through there for David Schutt as they go through the tight right-hander. Jake Nichols going to try everything he can. He's got a lap and a half to get this done. Well, less than a lap and a half now. He'll have 1 lap after these final few corners. Down the hill they come, into this right-hander, into the left-hander. And then it'll be the final corner, and David Schutt will see the white flag when he comes out of that one turn there. This one here, he comes round the corner, he will see. Again, does not lose any time this time. Looks like Nichols wasn't able to close the gap quite as much this time round. That's Nate Trato making his way out of pit stop, out of pit road for the final lap. So good to see that he's dedicated to staying in it. This right-hander very crucial. This was where Jake Nichols was able to close in. This time round, David Schutt looks like he might have the legs on him this time round. into this double right-hander. Really slamming on the brakes to try and slow down that truck. He really wants this win, does David Shutt, as they come up the hill once again for the final time here tonight. And up over the crest for the final time into the right-hander. Only 3 more corners to go for David Shutt, and he will have his second win of the season here in the SR Racing Graphix Truck Series. Just 2 more corners. The left-hander. Now the right-hander, the final corner. Doesn't want to go too aggressive, and he doesn't. He comes down across the line. David Shutt will win. And Canadian Tire Nichols will come home second, and he will claim the regular season championship. But the night belongs to that man right there. That will be Mr. David Shutt, and he will be a winner of this event. So big congratulations going out to that man right there, and we will go straight to the interviews for tonight's race, and we will reach out. We will go from we'll go from first to third, as we will grab our race winner, bringing home his second race. Very satisfying, considering he's always on he runs very well on the road courses. Mr. David Shutt, your race winner at Canadian Tire. That's got to feel very satisfying.
It's been a while since I've won on a road course. Yeah, it's a great race between me and Jake. I screwed up the initial start, change of lanes, which is against the rules. So I was able to come back from that, get a good pit stop under the stage break there. I think a lot of people screwed up there and lost track position. Yeah, just a good race. My tires are really falling off there at the end. Thought Jake was going to get me there, but he raced me clean. So I'd like to thank him for that.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes in the last couple of laps there, especially through that final turn. It looked like the truck was trying to get away from you. Is that how bad the tires were, that they were just trying to make it snap and turn around through the certain corners?
Yeah, there's just not a lot of weight on the rear end of these trucks. So when there's not a lot of weight and worn out rear tires, it's not a good combination. But held on to it there. I was really good out of the whatever you call that turn that leads onto the back straightaway there. So I was able to kind of get a good run every time on Jake, keep him from getting close to me on the last couple of turns. So I knew that as long as I could get through those turns, then I'd be able to hold him off.
And of the season, this start in a couple of weeks' time. Is that what you're looking at now? Is that your focus as to go into the playoffs?
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up there, but
sorry.
Yeah, playoffs are they're coming up here. I'm not too worried about them. Just once we get there, we'll give it our best shot and see what happens. But yeah, I'm not too worried about not making them or anything. So I'm just kind of going for wins right now.
One race at a time, right?
Of course.
Well, just again, the second race win on the season. Looking ahead to next week, I can't remember where we are next week. I didn't look at, but let me just check the schedule there, because I can't remember for the life of me where we are. I should know this by now. I should be a bit more professional.
I don't
than
know
I am.
either. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure it's back to the ovals. So
oh, definitely back to the ovals.
Oh yeah. So I've been there, whatever track it is, a bunch of times. So just gonna try to give it my best against Jake again. He's really strong on the ovals. So if I want to win a championship, that's the guy who I have to beat.
And it's at Texas. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Texas, yeah, it's been kind of hit and miss track. I'm not sure if I've been there in the trucks recently, but we'll see. Hopefully just the way the setup and the weather works out is in my favor.
Absolutely. And before I let you, anyone you want to give a shout out? All right.
Yep, I'd just like to thank you for broadcasting, Bobby for all he does for the league, and all the drivers that showed up today.
All right, David Shutt in the Ferrari sponsor number 42, Chevrolet Silverado. Congratulations on your win, and go and celebrate. I know you've earned it. You definitely earned it here tonight.
Thanks, man.
So David Shutt there, your winner here. I think I put him in the wrong room, but anyway, that will do. As we're going to bring in our second place finisher, and I believe he might have sewn up the regular season championship here tonight. Jake Nichols, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
I believe that's right. I think you've sewn up the regular season championship here tonight. Am I correct?
Probably, I would think so. We already had a pretty big gap going into tonight and got pretty decent points. So I think we did, which is good, honestly. Trying to get just keep momentum up, really heading into the chase. And I think with only one race to go, yeah, we'll definitely have that locked up. But hopefully we can get a better finish next week.
Absolutely, and it's this race. You're very pensive about this race. When I spoke to you last week, you said you were a bit nervous about the road course, but you definitely gave it a good go here tonight. You really put David Shutt under a lot of pressure for that race win, but unfortunately came up short. What are your thoughts about this race? Because it's been very much a race of attrition here tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm not the biggest fan of the truck, so truck on road course isn't my favorite, but we made do with what we had. I really don't have experience of this track that much, and especially in the last few years, I haven't really done this track. But I know Shutt just raced Rotopro here, so I knew he was going to be pretty tough to beat. So I expected him to be the main guy that I would be competing with for the win, and he ran good. He didn't really make many mistakes. He started making a few late, and I was trying to save up my rear tires, and instead I burned up my front tires too much, and I was just really tight, and we were running pretty good there. I got to his bumper a couple times. I think I should have sent him a little more, but I'm not that kind of guy to just straight up wreck someone, so I'd rather lose it clean than wreck him and win it dirty like that. So either way, it was a fun battle between us. Shutt always is a good racer, hard racer, so it's always fun racing with him for wins, and definitely here on the road course as well.
Yeah, I was actually wondering during the race whether you were going to deploy the bump and run, but obviously some people don't like that sort of thing, and obviously, as you just mentioned, win a race, but definitely well-deserved second place here tonight. Again, as I've already mentioned, you sewn up the regular season championship here tonight. Looking ahead to next week, going into Texas, you're going to take it a bit easy there as you focus on the chase now?
Oh yeah, probably. I'll just have some fun with it. Whether I try to start up front or out back, I'll definitely try to do things a little different just to learn some more about this truck. Since I haven't been the biggest fan of it all year, but either way, I think it'll be a good learning race. Another mile and a half, and hopefully we can come out with a win. If not, just get good points and just keep our head up going into the chase.
Absolutely, and I know you usually have a lot of people to shout out, so I'll let you take the floor there.
All right, TRD, of course, on the hood of the Tundra there with some SimSpeedShop.com on the side. They've been a great partner of mine for a couple of years now, and glad to represent them up front and have some good battles with them on board. Thanks to everyone at Sim Racing Authority for putting on these races, all the drivers for still showing up, because some leave mid-season, if things aren't going their way, but you always got that group of guys that stay no matter what, and so I appreciate them and pushing me to my hardest and helping me learn more every single week. So thanks to them, and good run there with David Shutt and Freddie on all of them back there. It was pretty fun. All my teammates, Slip Angle, of course, and JGR. Our Tundra was fast tonight, just not fast enough, but either way, thanks to you guys at ESBN for broadcasting and representing Sim Racing Authority here. You always do an amazing job, so thank you for that, and thanks to everyone that watched tonight and each and every week.
Yeah, and tell Ethan I didn't give him too much trouble tonight, because I was making fun of him saying that he was cutting the grass tonight. So
yeah, he was just trying to mope around on a laptop getting points.
But anyway, congratulations one more time, Jake Nichols in the TRD Sim Speed Shop number 20 Tundra. Wrapping up the regular point season championship here tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Texas.
Thank you. See you then.
That was our second place finisher, Mr. Jake Nichols. We're going to speak to a man we've not spoken to yet this season, and I find that absolutely amazing. But he is going to be here with us tonight in this booth now, as Freddie will join us now. Freddie, Sam in the booth, you got a copy, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
Not very often we've spoken to you this season, but you finally made it onto the podium and into a post-race interview. Got to be happy with that, especially with the run near the end.
Yeah, that was a really nice run. Even though I messed up, I felt like I had the speed to.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough break there on the restart there. What happened there? Was it just a case of the cold tires running wide there?
No, I completely forgot about no switch lanes. My fault.
Oh, yeah. I think David Shutt made that mistake as well. But another good run. You were in an epic battle between yourself, Nick Northrup, and Tyler Sifford there. That's got to have been something to.
Yeah, that was really fun. I really made my race come alive. So yeah, those guys are always fun to race.
Absolutely, great race there. And looking ahead to next week, we head to Texas Motor Speedway. What are your thoughts going into that one?
Oh, I love that track. Can't wait for us to get in there and how to get better at it. At a new package. Well, not the trucks. Well, the trucks don't have the new package. The trucks always get better at those.
Absolutely, and it always fires up some fun racing at Texas. Finally, before I let you go there, Freddie, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to SRA, Bobby Cheney, and Aaron Davis for always putting up the work. Shout out to those guys. Also Austin Roberts was in there. Gable for doing an awesome job adminning, and the guys that showed up tonight. Very fun.
Freddie De La Rosa and the number 3 Red Bull truck coming up in third place. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week when we go to Texas Motor Speedway. So that was our third place finisher, Freddie De La Rosa, as he comes home in a very, very well deserved P3. But the night belonged to that man in the Ferrari sponsored truck. Once again, his second race win of the season here this season. Second win of the season this season. Never mind. As that will do it for us here at Mossport. Let's bring up some music, as we always do. So, bringing home the win for tonight was that man again, Mr. David Shutt. He won one already this season on the oval. Now gets a race win on the road course. He was followed very closely by Jake Nichols, who just did not have enough to get that win away from him. He has to settle for second. And Freddie De La Rosa, his first top 3 of the season. He'll be very happy with that one. Tyler Sifford, another top 5 here tonight. His season going stronger and stronger, as he will be deep in that fight for second place with the race winner David Shutt as this regular season comes to a close. Bryce Senesack coming home with the top 5. I believe that's his best result of the season, so congratulations to him there. Dwayne Culberson, the last truck running, he was in P6. Nick Northrup in 7th. Lachlan McMillan in P8. Nate Trato, a tough race for him. He is in P9. And a very tough race for Bobby Cheney. He was the start of that big incident involving himself, Nate Trato and Tyler Ducharme, ultimately putting them out of the race. And Ducharme himself finishing in P11. Ethan Kurtz tried to stay out on track as much as he can, but cut more grass than he did tyres. He was in P12, and Brad Bothwell was the last driver running. He is scored in P13. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. No Top Fuel Racing this Wednesday. We will have that back on the following Wednesday when we go to Las Vegas. But this Monday, we'll be back with the Paskey's Cardiac Truck Series as they tune in for them. Also on Monday, we have the return of the Asylum Racing Series. Can Joe Morganti get another win? We'll find out, as he's going to have a lot more other drivers trying to take that momentum away from him. Tuesday, I believe we're going to be back again on Facebook with another podcast, so make sure you tune in for that one. Thursday we are off, and then Friday we have the iRacing East Series with Adam in the booth. And Saturday we have NASCAR Online, and that'll do our schedule for the week. So from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, and everybody in the SRA League, all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you live tomorrow. The Asylum Racing Series and the Passings Cardiac Truck Series. It's Truck Night on Monday night. We will see you then.